Hello and welcome to the vocabulary terms that are coming from Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. Okay, so let's begin. Improvident. When someone is improvident, they are lacking foresight. Whoops, hang on. Okay, let's see if this is better. When someone is improvident, they are lacking foresight. They're careless. They're wasteful. They don't think about what's going to happen in the future. This would be the opposite of a character like Okonkwo. He does plan for the future. He does work very, very hard. He's not careless, as some men are, waiting very long before they put their crops in the ground. When someone is looking haggard, that means that they are looking exhausted. Perhaps Oedipus was looking a bit haggard after all of after the entire investigation. Certainly Gilgamesh was looking haggard after his journey through the 12 Leagues of Darkness. When someone is imperious, that means that he or she is domineering. It's their way or the highway. They're very arrogant and overbearing. At times, we see this in characters like Oedipus, and certainly in characters like Theseus, right? Too imperious. An emissary is a diplomatic representative, an agent, who is sent to negotiate dealings. It's a person who's sent on a mission. Tomotada is an emissary of sorts for the Lord of Noto on his way to Kyoto. When a person is capricious, they're very changeable when it comes to their moods. They're fickle, whimsical, mercurial. They can't be relied on because one minute they're calm and the next minute they're flying off the handle. A harbinger is a person or a thing that announces the approach of another. A forerunner, I guess you could say. For example, William Blake would be considered the harbinger or the forerunner of the Romantic period in Great Britain. Copious means abundant in supply or quantity. If you take copious notes, that means you have many, many pages of notes. When someone is known for his valor, we mean that they are known for great courage on the battlefield. Like Hector, for example, throughout the earlier books of the Iliad. He could be said to have been known for his valor in battle. Although the scene that we caught him in versus Achilles, he seemed to be much more frightened than valorous. Okay, to elude is to avoid or to escape. If you're eluding capture, that means you're trying to escape from being captured. You're trying to get away from it. Try to get away from danger. Listless is like haggard. Listless is lacking energy. You have no spunk. I guess you could say Enkidu was listless, lacking enthusiasm. He was just sort of wasting away. in his bed before he ultimately died in Gilgamesh. Listless. Specious. When a statement is specious, it means it's misleading. It looks one way on the surface, but it's doubtful on beneath it, right? So it's seemingly believable, seemingly plausible on the outside, but actually wrong on the inside. Communal means shared by all, shared by a group, or a community. So if you're having a communal breakfast, that means everybody's invited. Esoteric means that it's really specific knowledge. It's understood only by a certain few people, understood by only a small number of people. In other words, when something is esoteric, it means that it's very specific to that career or that field of knowledge. And so it's basically specialized knowledge, you could say. His words were so esoteric, I had no idea what he was referring to inside the computer. Pandemonium is chaos and disorder. Approbation is a fancy word for approval. If you're seeking someone's approbation, you're seeking someone's praise or approval. And notorious is famous, but for the wrong reasons. Famous for doing bad things. So you don't really want to be known as notorious, because that means that your qualities are negative. Okay, and finally, we have delectable, which means delicious. Anything that's delectable is tasty, attractive. An omen, we've had the word augury before. We've had the word portent. An omen is a sign. Like Anchises wouldn't leave Troy until he got a sign. And he wound up getting not only the flame above little Iulus's head, but then also the shooting star. Requisite is a requirement. Something that is necessary. Something that is made necessary. It is required. And obviously mirthless is without mirth. So mirth is joy. So if you have a mirthless disposition, you have a disposition that is cranky and not filled with happiness. Okay, there are your words for the first section of Things Fall Apart.